Grandma probably knows what story I'm going to tell.
Oh, I knew it. I know it.
Okay, imagine you're a 10-year-old boy. And the most fun that you have is tormenting your grandma. There have been many times when I would jump out of the corners to scare her. All the time. It's amazing she's made it this far. But one of the times is when she scared me. This is when she scared me. I must have done something to really make her mad.
I know this.
So I'm sitting at the bar eating something. And Grandma's always been short, so whenever I sat down, that's when she would take the time to lay into me because she wasn't looking up. And she's, doing the pointing thing. She's telling me how, I'm being disrespectful and I should mind my elders. And then now I'm 10, so I still believe in magic. I still believe in, the supernatural. And her face contorted when she was yelling at me. And her gums came out of her mouth right after. Now I'm 10 and I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? What's that? And my eyes are big, my mouth's kind of hanging open, but the funny thing was that she was able to catch her gums in midair with her mouth and suck them back in. Now later I figured out what dentures were. Talk to me. She couldn't, be the one to chastise me, because every time she did, I made a comment, Hold your teeth now. Don't put the phone on the floor. But yeah, that's the funniest thing that I do. All right. Nice.
What do you think about that? Huh? What do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think about that?
Oh, well, after all, he's grown up and he's just funny.
Surviving years.
Get him up there. I'm sure he's got something to say.
Francis's I think oldest.
Yeah.
Can you, I don't want to suck the microphone.
Closer to your mouth.
Okay.
Closer to your
Okay, I got it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're her oldest
I'm a little bit
grandson.
nervous, but yeah, I think I'm the oldest one, and I have a couple of stories, and I'm glad. But before that, I respect my grandmother very much, and I respect anybody that's lived this long, and I'm really nervous right now, but I'll get over it once I keep talking.
Just family.
Yeah,
it's just family.
It's just family and friends, and I wish we had a stand for this thing, so it's not so. But anyways, I think one thing I respect most about her is getting through her years at the post office. I mean, anybody that could work at the post office for that long and retire without deserves to live 90 years old. 90 years. Jesus Christ, 1922. I believe she was a mail sorter. She used to bring us home all the magazines and stuff, which was cool. All the magazines nobody wanted. Yeah, this is a little bit better. This is a little bit better that way. I don't have to hold it so close to my face. But yeah, I have a few stories, and one of them has to do with a fart, and one of them has to do with me and my mom were driving somewhere in my grandmother's Malibu, and we were going somewhere in Orange County down Orange Street. It might have been to one of my baseball practices or whatever, and we hit a bump, and all of a sudden my grandma's in the back seat, and I hear like a scream. I turn around, and we both turned around like, what's going on? And I guess my grandmother had been picking her nose. And it's funny because I've done this too, in the car. And she had jammed her finger in her nose. I think we might have had to pull over because we couldn't drive and laugh that hard at the same time. And I fell out, and everything to me at that age was so freaking funny anyway. And my grandmother, she was one of my best entertainment things at that age. It was entertaining. But my fart story has to do with she was babysitting me I was about 9 or 10 years old, and it was getting late, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and my parents hadn't gotten home yet. And I was watching TV, and my grandmother fell asleep on the couch. And so I'm sitting there watching TV and getting into the TV show, and all of a sudden she farted and startled herself and woke herself up and thought that I had did something. So, and she was looking around like, what happened? And I said, you farted? No, I didn't. But it was pretty funny to me, and of course, 9 years old, I was again falling out laughing. I probably laughed for about an hour after that. And I had to tell my mom when she got home. And it was all pretty funny and everything else. And I was kind of gonna come up here and make some jokes and say things like I was looking at her high school yearbook last week and noticed that she had went to. I saw a picture of Jesus in there, and apparently they had attended high school together. But, she used to walk to school with Moses. And I think she was there at the burning bush incident as well. With all due respect, because she's a big reason why. I decided to change my life a few years ago. I was going through some things, and I came to a point in my life where I had to make a change, and I looked at my grandmother and how long she'd been alive, and I was like, shit, I can't deal with 50 more years of myself. I have to change. I have to change my life. And I looked at my grandmother, and she's at this age, and I'm figuring, we have the same blood coursing through our veins, so I'll probably live maybe as long if I'm lucky. And it's pretty incredible accomplishment. I'm sure we'll be here 10 more years celebrating her birthday again for 100. Can you imagine? 1922?
Yeah, it's a long time.
16 cents. How long did it take to make 60 cents back then? 3 weeks? What was the minimum wage back there? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
What was the minimum wage? Oh, the other thing I was going to bring up, it might have something to do with all those airplanes you used to live next to in Hawthorne. Maybe that's why you've been able to
Live
have
that.
the longevity. She used to live in Hawthorne, and we used to go, or Inglewood.
Yeah.
And
Both.
we used to go spend the night in all these airplanes and fly over, and
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you get any sleep around here?
Yeah.
This place is like an airport. But near LAX, and she lived in Compton and all
Yeah.
those places. I mean, even getting through that is an accomplishment in itself. But especially if you live there now, it's terrible. It's the first and only time I've ever been golfing is in Compton. But Grandma, I'm gonna be 40, and that seems like a long time, but 90, wow, that's another.
Yeah.
19 what?
She survived.
$1,800 a year was the average salary. That's pretty cool. You went through Prohibition too. That's awesome. Too bad they didn't keep that law, huh? It's kind of an inside joke. I can relate. But it's my pleasure to be here. I love you with all my heart. It certainly is. I'd like to attend next year's party or whatever you have. And, enjoy your day, enjoy your gifts, and you're a gift to me and my family, and I appreciate you, and I love you very much. Thank you. Next person.